Whether it was love at first sight or a date to forget, we're here to unpack it all. This is Blind Dating Explained, and the show starts right now. Tiptoe on my heels. What up, no? Jay the Gentleman here. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG. We're live from the back room right here on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. We sent 2 hopeful singles on blind dates, and now they're back to spill all the tea, the good, the bad, and the straight up messy. We're breaking down what worked, what flopped, and what we all can learn from their experiences. Then, to help us analyze the dates and give the girls a tip or two on how to navigate the dating pool a little better, we have the gay dating coach, Lamont White, to the back room. Welcome, Lamont. Hey!
What's going on? How you doing, Jay?
I am unbelievable. How are you, Lamont?
Awesome. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you in your orange. How is life in matchmaking the girls?
Listen, it's been awesome. I'm matching the decor. Can I take a good look at that?
You are definitely matching the decor.
I blend in. There we go.
You know, you're from the South. Like, people tell us it's the Rattler sofa because it's red, it's orange, green, and black, like the Florida A&M Rattlers. My sister went to FAM, but
Temple University TU over here.
What are the TU colors?
It's red, cherry, and white.
I should know that.
Yes.
My bad. My school was blue and orange, so I ain't gonna say that. I went to a PWI. It's a thing.
Same. Yes.
So, Lamont, are the girls still falling in love?
Absolutely. I think earlier we were talking about that.
Yes.
You sounded like you were not like hopeful or believing that the girls, the gays, are falling in love, but they are.
It just seems like it's so bleak out here.
Why is it bleak for you?
It's not. It ain't bleak for me.
Not for you, but for other gay men. Why do you feel like it's bleak?
It just seems like the girls are either chasing something that doesn't exist, or needing or requiring things that are unattainable.
The problem is that they're staying in this small circle of their network. If they change their circle, like not who the regular people they hang out with, they will find what they're looking for.
Hence, Blind Dating Explained. You see how we did that?
Yes.
I mean, you are a matchmaker extraordinaire.
Yes.
So that is important, is being able to help people step out of their comfort zone. I tell people all the time, we step out of our comfort zone, talk about the emotional ups and downs along the journey to happiness.
Yeah.
But I'm doing so from a very, very single perspective.
It's a journey, though. It's a journey. It's an awesome journey once you find love. And it's worth all the heartache. I tell you, it is.
I think that's where me and the girls are going to need some convincing. But that is exactly why you're here. Are you ready for this conversation, Lamont?
Let's make it happen.
All right, let's get into the episode. All right, it's Thirsty Thursday, and I always start with the same question. What have you had it with in black gay culture, Lamont?
Oh, my goodness. What have I had it with? Oh, y'all gonna hate me for this. Everybody wants to be OnlyFans. Everybody wants to do OnlyFans. Like, everybody. And some of you all do it for free. Like why? Why? Like, my thing, if you're gonna do OnlyFans, do it for like a temporary, period. Make your coin and move on.
Get that bread, get that head, and leave.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. Everybody want to take their clothes off.
I mean, because taking your clothes off has so many benefits, though, Lamont. Now, I will say I've started thirst trapping a lot on the Instagram.
Are you next? You gonna have OnlyFans?
I do not think it's gonna go to OnlyFans. I do have a studio, though, so there's that. He said, "Are you next?" is crazy. I don't think I would go as far as the OnlyFans, because I'm trying to find love, and I don't know that for me, taking my clothes off on the internet and a relationship go together.
Never say never, because there was a couple years ago. They're like, "Oh, we'll never ever have sex on camera." What they doing now?
I mean, there's a whole bunch of couples that years ago.
Right.
Because $20 is $20.
Oh, Lord.
$20 is $20.
Get a job. Get a job.
Own a business, bitch. Suck a dick. That's what T.S. Madison said. But the irony, along those same lines, I've had it with Grindr ads. Like, if you log onto Grindr, it feels like after every fucking profile, they got a whole new ad, and I got to close the app and open it. And
so you're not paying for this? You're not
for
paying
it.
Then that's why you get the commercials.
The whole is the same whether I pay for it or not.
Oh, spend the money.
If I were to spend the money, I would spend it on something much more substantive, like matchmaking services.
Good answer. Good answer.
You see how I did that?
There you,
You see
go.
how I did that?
There you go. Invest in love.
I
Yes.
keep a one-liner now.
Yes.
I keep on my toes. But I think that, I mean, Grindr obviously knows what they're doing because if we see the ad, it's at least for me. If I see the ad, I just close the app, open it back up. But they've gotten their little click. So
Listen, Grindr would not allow me to put advertisements for my matchmaking service on the app.
why?
They said it was a conflict of interest.
That means you really good at what you do then.
I'm like, come on, y'all get on here to screw. I'm trying to get people to find love.
That means
it's
you
not a
really good at what you
conflict.
do, friend.
I was gonna pay them some good money.
You were gonna give them some Tubmans.
Listen,
They ain't want your black
They
dollars.
didn't want my money. No.
They ain't want your
No.
black dollars. I'm here for it. Okay. Well, we've been changing a lot this season, and one of my new faves is our new segment called Top 5. Hit it. Okay, this is our new segment where me and my guest, Lamont White, give our top 5 of a topic. If you agree, give this episode a thumbs up. If you disagree, let me know in the comments what your top 5 is. This is top 5 ways, and Lamont, this is a good one for you. Top 5 ways to know he's not that into you. I'll start. Slow responses to text messages.
Absolutely. If it's like a snail's pace, he's really not interested in you.
Now, when we started prepping for this, everybody in the room commented that I am a notoriously slow texter. But I am always a slow texter. Like, there are people that I'm very close to in this room, and they know Jay ain't gonna respond. I'm not the one you call in the middle of the night. Definitely don't text me in the middle of the night if you stranded on the side of the road. I'll make sure that the car is taken care of in the morning, though.
I'm not calling you then. No, I'm not calling you.
I will make sure the car, but I ain't the one if you need like a rapid fire response. But if it gets gradually slower, I think that's a good sign that he's not that into you.
But you know what? The whole thing with text messaging, you know, unless you're you're a doctor and you're in the emergency room pumping on somebody's heart, you have time to send a text message to somebody you're interested in. You have time.
The person that I'm dating now is enjoying the fact that you just said that.
My husband works in the ER, and he still finds time to send me a text message or a call throughout the day.
But is that you sent him something and he responds quickly, or is that he knows to send you something?
Within 30 minutes, because I'm a little needy, so I need some communication.
Okay, that is called self-awareness.
Yes.
Okay, what's top 5? What's a top 5 way to know he's not that into you?
So if he compliments and is always making comments about how attractive somebody else is in front of you. Like, oh, he's cute, he's handsome. Oh my goodness, he's either trolling you, not into you, or trying to have a threesome with that person, right?
Okay, I mean, but one of those is okay, isn't it?
Are you okay with that? Did you sign for that?
I mean, one of those is okay.
What, the
other
threesome?
The threesome, definitely.
Is he trying to set you up for the threesome?
I mean, now I would say that if that happens very, very early in a dating situation, absolutely agree.
Yeah, you're on the first date and he's like, oh, he's cute. Hey, bruh, you should be making the comments over here, giving me compliments.
Everybody in the room is like, hell yeah, Lamont.
Yes.
Co-sign on that. I'm like, okay.
Or you see him looking at other people all the time. No, your attention should be on your date. That's a sign he's not into you.
Okay, my top 5 for me is he only wants to fuck. Like, if you get to a date and he's talking and it's an overly sexual conversation, he's talking, first question is, what's your position and all that. If that's his intention, he ain't really into you, or at least he's not into you for anything that has longevity.
I think in a relationship, it's a romantic relationship.
Yes.
You want a guy to want to have sex with you.
Yes.
Right? Unless you just want a best friend, a cuddle buddy. Like, so
that's
I
weird
think
to me.
Yeah,
I could never cuddle with my best friend. I never cuddle with my best friend. I love my best friend, but not in a romantic way. But I could never be like, oh, let's small spoon and feel your dick jump on my booty hole.
Well, no, not rubbing, but you can cuddle with your. Well, that's another session. That's another day, another topic.
I'm good.
Intimacy. We'll talk about that.
I'm good.
But my point is that you want a guy to want to have sex with you, to flirt with you, to be aggressive about that. It's okay for you to measure that and push back and be like, hey, we gonna get there, friend. We gonna get there, but let's talk about if there's other ways to be compatible.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you are the guru, so I clearly am going to take your word for it. What's another one for you, Lamont?
Y'all gonna hate me for this one, so don't cuss me out, okay? Okay. If he calls you girl, sis,
Oh yeah.
He has put you in the friend zone.
Oh, yeah.
Like y'all just Judies now. Like, hey girl, what's up?
I wish everybody could hear what's going on in this room.
Right. Has it happened like to you before? You're like, oh, we just friends now. Because
absolutely.
I'm not your sis or your girl.
Absolutely. But you know, the funny thing is, and this is not my top 5, but also if he calls me bruh too soon.
Yes.
If he either masculinizes or feminizes the words, it doesn't matter to me. If he call me bruh, sis, girl, no, I'm good.
Friend zone.
That is absolutely friend zone.
Yeah.
Unless he's doing it playfully, because some people, pick up on that and they do it intentionally and playfully and sarcastically.
That you check that early. Check it early. I'm not your sis. I'm not your bra. I'm not your girl.
Okay. All right. Well, the top 5 is poor conversations. I think there is a fine line between not having a conversation to have or not knowing how to have a conversation. When you're dating, the responsibility is to figure out how to talk to the guy you're talking to. Even if it's not graceful, you might not be a podcaster like I am, but your responsibility is to think of a good conversation. Odds are you shouldn't be in a dating pool in the first place if you can't figure out a good way to talk to somebody that you're trying to talk to. That's my top 5.
I like.
And that wraps up top 5. Yay! I hit the wrong button. My bad. Dwayne loves them goddamn graphics. Okay. Last season, I had an eye-opening conversation with Devin Barrington Ward. There's still music playing. At the time, he was running for city council and stopped by the back room to talk about being polyamorous and his relationship. Devin said some things that I've thought for a long time, but talking about intention and agreements in relationships, and I don't think we talk about that much, not enough. Check this out.
You don't have to be polyamorous to engage in that level of intentionality as far as your relationship is concerned. But I do think that the style and the practice of loving through a polyamorous framework does require some level of introspection and to have some really thought-provoking conversations that with monogamous relationships are kind of not required because it's just assumed that we're going to do it this way.
I'm excited to announce that Devin Barrington Ward and his wife Penelope are expecting their first baby. Congratulations to the young couple and their growing family. You can watch more in-depth interviews like this one or my nude interview with Mr. Censor that got us a content strike by joining our YouTube channel. Members get access to exclusive conversations and behind-the-scenes content. Becoming a member is one of the easiest ways to support what we do here on Dear Black Gay Men. Just hit the join button right below this episode. When we come back, we get the details from our first blind date, Aaron and Malik, and find out if we made a love match. This is Blind Dating Explained, and we will be right back. Let's make a cocktail.
Well, what do I get first, the tail or the cock?
We're having margaritas tonight, but tequila would have me naked on the internet, so we are going to be making brown apple margaritas that I call margaritas. You see what I did there? You like that? So I make this drink anytime I'm having a new boy come over to Netflix and chill. By Netflix, I mean come out of their clothes so we can have sex. It's not when I want boys to come over and take off their clothes. It is when I want boys to come over so we can pray a little bit. It starts with a shaker and fill it up with ice. But here's the thing that I learned from bartenders. So you fill the shaker up with ice. And at the same time, fill up your glasses with ice too so they can be chilled. So I'm gonna make margaritas for the room. My hands are clean. Don't do this if you've been fingering somebody. I filled up my shaker with ice, and you're gonna do equal parts brown apple whiskey. Y'all remember that clip of the girl when she was making a cocktail?
2 shots of vodka.
Equal parts brown apple whiskey. This is triple sec, which is like a citrus. And then sweetened lime juice. Now, the bougie girls will say you want to like squeeze limes, but when you are having a watch party Person not watching Dear Black Gay Man and you making a punch for a whole bunch of the girls, you're not gonna be squeezing the fucking lime. So don't let nobody try to shame you out of using the cheap shit. Put that in the shaker and you shake. So I started Dear Black Gay Man because I got stood up for a date. But the thing is, it kind of grew into art therapy session, part kiki with the girls. Dear Black Gay Man for me is the best part of my week. And the upside of that is because we've created this platform, you all get to participate with us every single week. I'm really excited at the opportunities that y'all have created for us. But the real tea is you can help us create even more of this content by joining our YouTube channel as a member. And then you get to have content with us all week. This is the Margarita. Taste it. Taste it. Come on in. Come on in. This is John. Cheers.
That's really good.
That's what she said. We're live from the back room. I am Jay the Gentleman. Today, we're catching up with a couple couples that we sent on blind dates, and we're about to find out if sparks flew or if it was straight up disaster. My first guest is our senior producer. I'm very excited about this. He's our senior producer right here at Dear Black Gay Men. He holds a whole production team together and is one of the few people who can boss me around, and I hate it. But please welcome Aaron to the back room.
Hey, y'all.
The button didn't work. Okay. And streaming in is the person that we sent Aaron on a date with, Malik. Malik, are you there?
I am here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Malik. So before they spill all the tea, let's roll the footage and see for ourselves. Buckle up, y'all, because this is about to get interesting. I haven't even seen this. Check it out. Do we have it?
What is something that you're really passionate about?
Ooh, for me, I am passionate about bringing joy to people's lives. I feel like in this world, besides Donald Trump, just like we live in a grim world, and I feel that instead of sowing discord, instead of sowing negativity, I I look to bring, I won't say positivity because toxic positivity can be annoying, but I look to bring joy to like real joy to people's
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
And I
Okay, good.
yeah,
For
what about you? Oh,
me
go
myself,
ahead.
I've become more passionate about my relationship with God and also my daughter. My daughter is my passion. She is
Oh, you have a
everything.
kid?
In our convo. I feel like this is going really well. How do you all feel?
Oh,
I
going
feel
well.
good.
Oh, I really want to know what happened in the rest of it. I haven't even seen it. It was so good. Okay, Aaron, what first impressions? How did you feel?
So I really liked talking to Malik. I felt like, first impressions, felt like he had intention behind the date.
Okay.
And I was kind of laughing because I'm like, he got a whole setup and I look like I'm in an obituary with them clouds behind me.
Malik, what about you? First impressions. What did you think of the date?
It was great. It was a new adventure for me, so it was great to kind of have that experience.
Malik froze. Are we froze? Okay, well, Malik comes back. So, Aaron, would you go on another date with Malik?
So after the date, I did have a great time talking to Malik, but it did give more friend vibe. Like how Lamont just said, once he calls you bro, not bro or sis or whatever, like it kind of just gave like, like friend vibe.
Is that what you got from him, or that's what you wanted to get, or is that what
I
you
think
felt?
that's what I got from him. But I also kind of felt it too, because I'm like, he was a nice guy. But you know how like you don't try to, like, we all have our preferences and things, but a preference is basically meaning that you can exist and find love outside of that as well.
Mhm.
But so, I went into it with an open mind and everything. But I felt like he was a good dude, a good person, but we just didn't like have that connection.
What about you, Malik? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think that at the end of it, we had a great conversation, and the interaction was great. But I think at the end of the day, I felt more of that friend vibe as well. So I agree with Aaron on that.
Why do you say that though? Like what would have tipped it over into okay, let me jump your bones, or okay, let me go out on a second date? What were you looking for that you didn't get, Malik?
Kind of had that romantic connection. So it just didn't we just didn't have a romantic connection during the conversation, and then afterwards either it was kind of surface level. I don't think we went further to have that romantic connection.
Okay, what would have created? I was just trying to figure. Like, is it that you didn't think it was cute?
Now you know
No,
that's
he's
not fun.
very attractive. He is attractive.
Okay,
Uh, that's not it. I just didn't. It wasn't a romantic attraction for me, though.
okay. So Lamont, my question for you is: how do you create romantic attraction on a date? Is it really you got to come with it, or is it?
I'm literally jumping out of my skin right now. You can't tell. Like I literally am exploding over here because
Why are you exploding?
as I looked at the date and I look at their interaction, did it feel like a job interview?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hell yes.
Yes.
It felt like you were applying for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to your point, my question to both of you,
Mm-hmm.
how did you try to introduce romance into your date?
Oh.
Both of you. Because you ain't smiling at all, sir. Like, you ain't smiled once. You ain't smiling at date.
I don't know if he's frozen or
you
not.
know-
Like, you ain't frozen, are you, Malik?
Malik?
I think
He might be frozen. That's why
Okay,
he's smiling. But
okay.
go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead,
okay.
Aaron.
Okay, for me, that's a great question because I would say like going into the gate, I was reviewing like the questions Verity gave me and like, okay, let me sound like I'm not a crazy person. Let me do all of this.
Yeah.
I think for me, I try to insert a little bit of humor, like to show my human side.
Yeah.
So like, I made a joke about how I don't go to restaurants if you got a pork chop plate for $28 because I'm not paying close to $30 for
no
slave
swine.
food.
No swine.
But you're not answering my question, Aaron.
But the romantic piece, I don't know. Like, what did I throw
And I'll be
in?
yelling. I'm sorry.
You're not yelling.
Oh no, you're good.
You're
good.
not yelling.
I think for me, I try to introduce the romantic thing by complimenting people's looks and like, saying like, oh, I think you're really attractive or handsome.
Did you say that?
I did. I
Oh.
think.
Okay. What about you, Malik?
It did.
Malik, we having technical difficulties with Malik. Okay, so but back to you, Lamont. Like introducing romance. Keep going on that.
Yeah, so a lot of people date the wrong way because they're trying to put their best foot forward, being a representative of who they are, instead of trying to, I like humor, throw some humor in there, but the romance has to be there. The guy has to feel like you are romantically interested in him. Like, oh my God, you're so handsome. I love your smile. You smell good. Can I touch you? Like, if you're not doing that, like you actively have to do that on a date to open him up, to make him feel wanted and seen. Instead, we say, what's your 5-year plan? Who do you like as an artist? Like, all that stuff is surface. You have to create a vibe and the energy.
Yeah,
of the date.
I think for me, sometimes I try so hard to introduce romance, but not introduce make it like super sexual. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm going out because after this, I'm trying to take you home. And I mean, because I want.
But what if you are trying to take him home? What's wrong with that?
I mean, eventually I want to do that, but I feel like for me, I like to establish a romantic connection before sex, because if we just jump into bed, then what else do I have to attach to you?
But I think what Lamont is asking is, well, how did you establish romantic connection even in this day?
Oh, I will say I did comment the looks, but it might have been because it was an online interaction versus being in person.
It's harder, but that means your dating muscle has to be on steroids whenever you're on a virtual date. One of the things I know why guys don't like to introduce romance, because it makes them vulnerable. It makes the risk that hey, I'm literally trying to woo you
because they don't want to look thirsty.
You don't want to look thirsty. Listen, if you want to get parched, if you want to get that thirst done, you got to be thirsty to get your man.
I have no problem looking. I look thirsty every fucking Thursday night up in this chair, so I ain't got no issues looking thirsty.
I bet you the thirsty people get a man.
Malik, are you there?
Okay.
Do we have Malik?
Okay.
I'm here.
Do you feel, did you do anything to introduce a romantic component to this date, or did it feel like a job interview like Lamont is saying?
I don't think that I did. I think the only thing that I really did was just reiterate his compliment of being handsome during our texting back and forth after the date. But other than that, I think it kind of fell flat a little bit after that during our conversation. So I don't think that there was a lot of that between us. Which kind of again made it feel like we would be better off as friends.
Yeah.
Did you want it to be though? Like, is it that there was something there that you were missing, or is it that you just didn't feel the vibe in the first place?
I just don't think I felt the vibe place, so I kind of wanted to keep it surface level.
Oh, okay.
I think that is the problem with dating. Even if you're trying to figure out like if the guy is compatible, you as a well-seasoned dater should make that guy feel like the best person in the world. That is the only way that you're going to see his heart. If you're waiting for him to open up before you open up, the both of you will never go on a second date. It will always be the end of the date. It will always be friend zone. You both have to take the responsibility of creating that vibe.
I think that's the bigger issue with dating in black gay culture is that nobody wants to make a first move or take the initiative or take the responsibility. We all want somebody who's going to come to our rescue. They want us
lazy dating.
They want the other person to be super
lazy.
Vulnerable. Okay, so what if you date someone that's not your usual type? I'll direct that to Aaron. Like, do you date outside? Do you have a type first?
Would
you say?
Ask me that?
Of course. I mean, I know the answer, but tell the people.
Only ask questions you know the answer to.
Of course I do. I mean, not only, but
most of the time. But yes, I do have a type.
Because I have a great production team.
Right? No, I do have a type. But as I said before, like I believe that preferences are that's what I prefer, but that doesn't mean that's only what I want. Because once you move into that's only what I want, that's more prejudice than anything.
Okay. What about you, Malik? Do you have a type, would you say?
I would agree. I don't think I have a type. I think I have more preferences as well. But I've dated an array of different types of men, so I don't think that I necessarily have a type. But if I'm attracted to you, then I'm attracted to you, and I know that from the beginning.
Are you attracted to me?
What's going on here?
You?
I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that.
Aaron is stealing your man.
Crumb snatch in your face.
So, but Lamont, how do you create? What advice could you give us to people who are looking to broaden our horizons? Like the both of them have a type, but they are open to other things. But sometimes it is difficult to like create a romantic vibe with someone who might not be squarely inside your attraction. Like, you know, I could think of all the girls who have a great personality, but poor packaging.
Right. My thing, it's great to have preferences. Have your preferences. If your preferences are getting you what you want, like you're finding love, you're finding guys that you're going on dates with it's turning into a relationship, not just sex, because men will screw anything.
Yeah.
And not it's the background people for me.
Everybody,
yes.
oh yes, I got it.
Men have sex out of convenience, right? And sometimes they will have sex with people that they know that it'll never be a relationship. So if you're keeping your preferences to very limited and they're working for you, fine. But if not, you have to date different types of guys. My husband, who we've been married for ever, was not my type. He was not my type of guy that I would date.
So cute together,
but we work well. I had to push myself to date differently.
The irony is, I intentionally will fuck outside of my type. Like, if you are my type, I'm not gonna hook up with you.
Because you know it's not going to go anywhere.
Because
I know I don't bring sand to the beach and I don't shit where I sleep. Like if I'm going to a spot where I'm going to have some random sex, it's usually with people that I'm never going to ask their number.
And people get confused. There are guys who are like, oh, I have sex with this type of guy all the time. And they think that's the type of guy that will marry them. But that guy will never take you home to meet mom. Because there's something
That guy
about
might not
you,
ever take you home, period.
home or in public, because there's something about you that he sees that is not compatible.
Right.
But he just sees you as an object to have sex with, and that is it.
And I mean, I will say that I'm absolutely guilty of that because my biggest fear is walking into, it's Atlanta. So walking into the club, walking into a bar, and there's like 5 or 6 people that I done had. And odds are I've never done that because I don't fuck in my social circle. But that was cute. Okay. Okay. We're about to play a game, right? Right? Oh, I'm supposed to. We learned a little bit about our date, and now we want to play a game. Let's see if you find these next few questions to be appropriate or off base. Hit it. Okay, this is how appropriate or off base works. I'll say a situation, and you, Malik, and Aaron and Lamont will tell me if it's appropriate, meaning good, or off base, meaning not. Lamont is the dating expert and will tell us if these ideas are good or if we're all a little delusional. I think I'll play this one as well. For those watching online, tap into the comments and let us know if you think that these are appropriate or off base. Y'all ready to play?
Let's see.
Are y'all ready?
Yeah, let's play.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Coming to the first date in your regular day-to-day clothes. Appropriate or off base? Aaron?
That's appropriate.
Appropriate. Malik, what about you? Appropriate or off base? Coming to a first date in your regular day-to-day clothes.
That's situational. I think it depends on the date type. So I would say off base.
Off base. What about you, Lamont?
Off base. There should be a date outfit. Even if you're going axe throwing, that's a date outfit.
Really? See?
So hold on.
Lamont
what is a
getting
date
the girls
outfit?
together.
So a date outfit is if you know your legs are sexy, if you love your legs, there's a certain type of pants that you're gonna wear to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel sexy. So not an everyday. Don't
You're
wear
saying
everyday
that 'cause
outfit.
Aaron's got great legs.
See, so you're showing them, right? You're showing them. So that's what you're gonna wear on a
Oh,
date.
girl. Okay. Okay. The next one is telling if you have children on the first date. Appropriate or off base? Aaron?
That's appropriate.
Okay, what about you, Malik? You actually have a kid, so...
Appropriate.
Okay, Lamont, give us the professional perspective.
Appropriate. You should be transparent about, what's going on in your life. I don't think you have to overindulge in that conversation about your children on a first date. That's a second or third date conversation.
Okay. Next, if we do not fuck after 3 dates, we are sisters, not lovers. Appropriate or off base? Aaron?
Ooh, I want to say appropriate.
Damn. Lamont's gonna get us together no matter what. So we don't fuck after 3 dates is appropriate.
Appropriate.
We sisters now.
We sisters, or I don't need new friends. So I mean.
Okay, Malik, what about you? We don't fuck after 3 dates. That means we sisters. Appropriate or off base?
Off base. I say that's off base.
Off base. Why you say it's off base?
I think sometimes it may take a little longer to get to that point, and getting to know. It depends on where you're going with it. Sometimes a little bit more time to get to know the person, so it doesn't necessarily happen between the first and 3 dates.
Okay, before I tap in, what do you say, Lamont? We
Off
don't fuck
base.
after the first 3 dates. We sisters. Off base?
Off base AF. Okay? AF. Okay? Like, yes, you want to have
You got a
sex.
standing ovation over there.
like, because you're trying. That means you are fucking everybody. Like,
I mean,
we listen and we don't judge. We listen, we
We
don't
listen,
judge.
we don't judge.
But that means you fucking everybody.
I mean, I don't go on third dates with everybody though.
I'm just
So
saying.
you want to have sex before that, though?
I think so. No, okay. I said appropriate just to get on Verity's nerves, but I do think that like along the lines of like seeing if a man is interested in you. Like if I don't feel any kind of like romantic sexual energy or anything like that after 3 dates.
Well, you can feel romantic sexual energy on 3 dates without
Having
penetration.
sex.
Yes.
Without penetration.
Yes. No, I agree.
I mean, you can bump up against it on the third date,
you know.
right? But it doesn't mean you have to have sex.
Yeah.
Is that
It really-
called bumping uglies?
fist bumping person. It really depends on your relationship with sex. So for some people, sex is kind of casual, so you can have sex on the first date. Other people, sex is kind of reserved for something more intimate.
And those people are called bottoms.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I know that was problematic.
Community strike number 2.
My bad. I didn't.
No, it's the bottoms.
You know I don't. You
It's the
know I don't
bottoms
do
who want
that.
the dick on the first date. Okay.
Because they want to try it before they buy it.
Hello, they want
I
to
mean,
make sure.
I want to try it before I buy it too, but I ain't no bottom. Okay, the next one is going days without texting or talking after first date. Appropriate or off base?
Wait, what does that mean?
Going days without texting. You read the damn script.
Oh, off base.
Okay. What about you, Malik? Going days without texting or talking after the first date. Appropriate or off base?
Off base. I think that gives a lot of time for someone else to do the texting when you're texting. So off base.
All right, Lamont, give us the professional way in.
It is definitely off base. If a man is intentionally trying to date, he is going to communicate. He's going to call. He's going to FaceTime. He's going to do more than just text messaging you. And you're not going to go days without trying to communicate with somebody who you're saying, I'm interested in you.
Yeah, if you go days without texting or talking, the next text message is probably going to be, who this?
Because I deleted your number.
I probably didn't save your number in the first place, so I definitely ain't got it now. And if you went days, I definitely deleted the thread and burned you out of my phone. Okay, what's the next one? Questions about someone's financial situation on the first date. Appropriate or off base?
Off base.
I'm not gonna double tap there because I know why you said that. All right, Malik, what about you? Appropriate or off base?
Definitely off base.
Okay, why do you say? Why do you say off base, Malik? Have you been in a situation where people counting your blue velvet bed and they like, oh, he got money.
He got money.
Nah, but I don't think this is an appropriate question for you to ask when we're on our first date. I think that puts into you're kind of looking for something rather than interested in dating me.
Okay, they're looking for to come up. What do you say, Lamont?
It's definitely off base. I think I get financial stability is important, particularly for men. You don't have to ask questions about somebody's financial status to figure out if they're financially stable. Listen to how they talk about money. If they're like, complain about, I'm waiting for my check, or I got to pay this bill, blah, blah, blah.
I get paid Friday.
I get paid,
let me hold $20 to tomorrow.
Child,
Wait
don't
till tomorrow.
ask me for $20. Ask me for some real money, okay? I hate when people get $20. No. But a man will tell you, if you listen, about his financial status. Just
Okay.
listen.
I'm really curious about this next one. And Malik, I'm going to start with you. Asking if he's bi or gay on the first date. What do you say, Malik?
I think that's appropriate. It puts into where you're going and what they're interested in. So I think it's appropriate.
Can I just say, Malik, you seem kind of serious. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Like you seem like you have a very stoic energy about you. Is it just because I've been drinking?
It probably is.
Like what does it take? What does it take for you to kind of let the guard down and let your hair out? I know you got a close cut and all, but
I enjoy having fun. So getting out traveling, doing different things, I enjoy having fun. So
fun
I'm
like
usually
what?
open
Like
to
are you
any. I'm usually open to anything. So I'll usually try almost anything once.
Are you shirtless on the dance floor with the beat going through your body, kind of let loose? Like, what does let loose look like for you? Because now I'm curious.
Not that anymore, but
anymore.
Nah, I'm too old for that now.
How old are you?
But I'm 48.
Oh, now now good black don't crack. That's what he just told me. I thought he was gonna say 32.
I wish.
Okay, but asking gay or bi on the first date, you said that is appropriate?
Yes, that is appropriate. It
Okay,
definitely gives you perspective of what you're looking for.
Okay. I could double tap there too. What do you say, Aaron?
I say off base. I don't care if you gay or bi. Do you want me?
Okay. What about you, Lamont?
It's definitely appropriate because if you're dating with intention, you want to know who is in front of you. If he's bisexual, what level of bisexuality does he participate in? Because if he's like, hey, I definitely need, pussy every now and then,
Mm-hmm.
you ain't got a pussy.
Oh,
But wait a minute now, Lamont.
yeah.
Why is that a first date
real.
question though? Why is that a
It
first
is a
date
first
question?
date because you're dating for compatibility. You're dating for compatibility. I think it's okay to ask sexual positions on the first date.
Okay, clearly I'm not the dating guru because both of those questions would turn me off.
At the end of the date, you can be like, or throughout the date, you can be like, oh, sexually, do you prefer top, bottom, what? Just as casual as that.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's like, oh, I'm kind of verse, cool, bet, move on. I didn't say stay there for 10 days. But you're doing chicken to see if this person is a good fit for you. You all date just to, like any and everybody and don't actually date to look for compatibility. You're dating for dinner and a good time instead of looking for your husband. You need to do the checklist.
That's a totally different episode, Dwayne. Dwayne gonna be on the show in a minute. He's talking about finding a husband. Okay,
Right.
The next one is attending. What is the next one? Attending family events as a first date. Malik, I'll start with you.
No, that's inappropriate, off base.
Okay, because I do want to double tap right there. How many dates before you introduce someone to your child?
It's quite a few, so I have to really feel like are there to stay. So it takes a little bit of time because kids get attached, and I don't want that attachment, and then I gotta get rid of you at the end. So it takes quite a few.
Okay, what do you say? Appropriate off base. Attending a family event as a first date.
Child, that's trauma inducing. I definitely don't want you to meet my family on the first date.
Because some days you don't even want to meet your family. Okay, Lamont, I think I know what you're gonna say about this one, but go ahead and weigh in.
It's definitely off base because you don't know that person on the first date. They could cuss your family members out. They can say something inappropriate. There are things about that person that you don't really know, and then you're gonna expose your family members to that. No.
Okay.
No.
I think we're gonna wrap it
Exposing
there. Go ahead to Malik. What were you gonna say, Malik?
exposing them to your family because your family could be horrible too. So I have a crazy family.
Exactly. No.
Okay, that was appropriate or off base. Good job, teammates. Woo! Okay, before we go to the next piece, I do want to ask, put Aaron up there side by side with Malik. Second date or not? Aaron?
I say no.
Okay. Malik?
Okay. I say
Are y'all gonna be friends?
I think we can be friends.
Yeah. I think it's good. I'm in so I think the other thing that we didn't mention is that there's like long distance between us too.
North Carolina's like 3
yeah,
hours
yeah,
away.
That's true. It's
Okay.
like 5, but
Okay.
But yeah, I
Okay.
do think friendship is definitely there. He is a like-minded individual, good conversation. He ain't crazy. He ain't gonna have me in no crazy situations like what I was in this weekend.
Or at least we don't think he would.
Yeah.
What you hiding?
No,
No, I'm
I
kidding.
wouldn't do it.
Okay. Well, that was appropriate or off base. I want to thank Malik for being such a good sport and thank Aaron. Good job. Ooh. Good job. Okay, after the break, we will unpack our dating disaster with our next couple, Joshua and John. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. But during the break, let me know in the comments, have you ever went on a blind date that ended well? This is Blind Dating Explained. And we will be right back. We ain't never had a conversation this good.
Start fighting and it's over nothing. Like, why?
Nothing was off limits. What do you look for? Top thing, first thing. You scrolling on the apps and you like, how has HIV impacted your dating life? Then it got a little petty.
Worked the same way that the negative hoe worked. I said,
Celebrating National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. It's the HIV Talk on Dear Black Gay Men podcast. What up, though? I am Jay the Gentleman, and I host all the craziness that happens right here in the back room. As far as I know, we are the only queer-led podcast that has its own studio in Atlanta, and we party in the back room. We have a Kiki in the back room.
Get that gooch licked on something. Like, figure it out. Like,
We have a cocktail in the back room.
Oh, that's really good.
That's what she said. And we grow in the back room. Every time y'all are here, every time you're here, you say something that I'm just like, that really happens? If you're in the Atlanta area, you want to join us in the back room, the dearblackgaymen.com/tickets to see what live shows and events we have coming up right here in the back room. All right, we're live for the back room. I am Jay the Gentleman. Before the break, I asked, have you ever went on a blind date that went well? The comments are going up, but we just met with our first couple where the date was pretty neutral and could have gone a few different directions. But now we're talking about something that we've all experienced at least once, a dating disaster. Our next guest is the producer behind some of our most epic shows of the season, and he's the director of the groundbreaking short film Fear Not, that you can support by visiting fearnotfilm.com. Please welcome John to the show and his date, Joshua. Josh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, Josh. Okay, let's set the mood with this real life clip from the date that, well, let's just say no one gave up the pussy at the end of this date. Go ahead roll the clip. Roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Are
my
you really
program
involved
I'm
in
developing
church?
currently.
Are you really involved in church? Or you like
I
you go to
am
church a
actually.
lot? Okay. Okay, cool.
Yes, I am a church boy.
Okay.
How about you? Are you a church boy?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Is there any
No.
particular reason why, if I may ask?
No, I wouldn't say there's a particular reason. It's just not for me, you know. I feel like I have my connection with a higher power and that's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
This is asking us about do I enjoy anime or video games? When I was younger, I liked video games like GTA, Midnight Double Edition, stuff like that. But I don't enjoy video games now.
Show I'd recommend anybody to watch if they want to get anime.
Okay, that's what's up. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I probably wouldn't enjoy it just because it's not really my speed, but
How do you resolve conflicts?
I haven't gotten to a point where I resolve conflict in maybe the most mature way.
That I'll say is that first I'm gonna talk to you about it because we're adults.
Oh.
We were all watching like,
I have so much to say. This is
so many things. Okay, Josh, let me get your first impressions. Like, you were watching that back, you were there for the whole date. What did you walk away thinking or feeling about this date?
I thought that he was cool, like people to know. I didn't see it being any more than like us being friends pretty quickly.
Okay. Like, wait, you said you saw that you would be friends or would not?
That we would be probably just friends.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
I could just tell that we wouldn't really in that way together. But he was nice, he was cool.
Y'all, both these couples y'all are saying some very PG, like
generic.
Are y'all did he make your dick jump, friend?
No.
Okay, he wasn't your type. That's fair. That's fair. What about you, John? Did he make your dick jump? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a bit much. That's a little aggressive.
Well, it's not.
That's a little aggressive. What was the vibe for you?
The vibe gave very I don't know. It kind of goes back to what you were saying about like how people feel like they're like closed up and buttoned up upon like first meeting, which I mean I get, like you don't know me, right? Like I don't like I'm not gonna fault you for that, but like I'm someone where it's like if I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna try to do my best to show you like who I am up front, and it just didn't feel like you were giving me that too.
Do you have a response to that, Josh? Did you feel closed off to him?
No, I didn't necessarily feel closed off to him. I just like
there just wasn't a vibe. There wasn't a connection. So
What
it
is
was
a
just, I don't know,
define
just like an
connection for me?
awkward
Like,
FaceTime call.
what does connection look like for you? To what were you
I
looking
mean,
for
like,
when it comes to connection?
if I were to see him in person or we were to run into each other at Bulldogs or friends, we probably wouldn't speak in real life. So you know what it is when you meet a man and there's an instant attraction, there's an instant like, oh, I want to get to know them more. It just didn't give any of that. I wasn't being closed off. If that's how he took it,
So,
I'm mad about that.
okay, so let's remove John from the equation because I'm really curious about this. For you, are you
Right.
saying that your initial vibe with somebody is based on physical attraction?
Not necessarily on physical attraction, but even just the chemistry that we share. We just didn't have any chemistry. We don't
But how do
we
you
don't have
have
many of the same
chemistry?
interests.
How do you have chemistry if you're bumping into somebody at Bulldogs and Friends? Like what
I,
scenario
I-
occurs where you
it's
can gauge
just
that?
I don't. I mean, I can't put it into words. I'm sure every man knows what it is when you see another man and you're attracted to them or intrigued by
Yeah,
them.
for me, it's my dick jumping.
Right. Right.
Like, if you give me a jolt in my britches,
Right.
that's the number one.
That's it.
That's the first.
Well,
Okay.
Is that a problem? Am I the drama?
just a little bit, friend. Just a little bit.
You ain't the damn date. Okay, but Lamont, give us the professional perspective. You watched this date, you heard their interaction or a snippet of it. What is your first takeaway?
Don't curse me out, Josh and John. Okay, don't cuss me out.
No promises.
I noticed like you both look like you were waiting for the date to be over.
Is that true?
Damn.
I mean, yeah, I just said that it felt like an awkward FaceTime call.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know you, you don't know me.
yeah.
It's like, okay, cool, what's up? Hi, bye. Like,
Right. So look, virtual dates can be amazing if done right. So, Josh, I felt like you know how you're set up right now on this camera. That's how you should have been
right.
set up on your date instead of just holding the phone back and forth while we're looking at the ceiling. And you're like, oh, I got 30 seconds for you, like, and that's about it.
Okay.
John,
Right.
don't cuss me out. What
I
were you
agree.
wearing?
I agree.
Your t-shirt. I know you're casual, but like you have like a overstretched t-shirt on.
It was one of my bigger shirts, yeah, that I wear.
So first impressions matter. So if you're doing a virtual date, you have to put a cute outfit on, right? I think men are visual. So I think both of you went into it unsuccessfully. Like you didn't set yourself up for success in trying to actually look like you were prepared for a virtual date.
But Lamont, I think that is an issue with just in general with dating. I've been to many first dates where they wearing their cut in the grass shoes and whatnot.
I'm leaving.
Meanwhile,
I'm leaving.
I'm
show up
smelling good and all of the things.
On a first date, you should look like you are going on a damn date. I don't care if you're even going to the park to walk around, to get some ice cream, like you can look like you are trying to impress the person. If you're just like, oh, I'm
That's
just here.
trying to impress
You're
them.
if I'm just here to be here, guess what? I'm giving you that same energy on a date.
Do you think that I think that you put the nail on the head. I think that the bigger question that I have about dating in Black gay culture, the reason why I think so many of us, or people tell me that a lot of us have kind of lost hope, is that it feels like nobody's trying to impress the other person.
Because you give up before you even start. Because you're like, this is not going to go anywhere anyway, so why even put in all the effort? Because dating can be exhausting. Dating can make you feel like, oh, I just give up. But you're like, oh, let me try. So you half-ass it.
Okay.
Instead of putting your all into it. A guy can tell if you put your all into it.
Okay, so John, well, let me ask you real quick. And I'm going to ask you, John, the same question. Like, did you go into it thinking, oh, this could be something that's really dope?
I mean, yeah, I went into it open-minded.
But did you go into it think that I need to knock their socks off?
Not necessarily I need to knock their socks, but
why, friend?
Why?
Why? If you're looking for love, every date that you go into is, I want this guy to feel great and I want him to see the best side of me. If you're not doing that, why Why are we
Real
going on dates?
talk. I mean, that's a real question because I'm about to ask John the same thing. But I think open-minded is great. Open-minded is good. But what kept you from thinking if this is gonna turn out well, let me put my best foot forward?
I don't think anything stopped me from thinking that.
Okay, what stopped you from doing it then? You
I don't
can
know.
say it. It's just say it. Like Oprah has a clip. She's like, say it. You can say it. If I think so we're assuming a couple things. Are you looking for love?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
You could say that. Oh!
But do you hear how you talking?
Yeah.
Like the way
How
you're
am I
communicating is just very could happen, could not happen. I'm good either way and whatnot. Do you hear it?
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, and I've heard that before.
Okay. Oh, so this ain't new news.
No.
Oh, okay. Fair. What about you, John? Were you approaching this like this could be something important? Let me put my best foot forward and knock this man's socks off.
So what I was gonna say originally was that walking into the virtual date, probably not. No, could I have done better? I'm mature enough to say like yes, I could have done better, right? But like I feel like I already don't do well on virtual dates, period. So that's like a weakness of mine already. But like if I'm getting ready to see you like in person and you're about to see my full outfit, I'm gonna put that shit on, right? Because again, to everyone's point, I want you to see like the best side of me. I want you like what I'm wearing right now is what I would wear to a date, right? Because again, like I want you to see like my absolute like at least the closest to the best version of me that I can, right? But yeah, walking into this, it was definitely like I'll say I was like honestly more nervous than anything, and then I kind of didn't really like know how to like approach because I really haven't been on like a virtual date in like forever anyway. So like even going into this, I was like, I don't know what's about to happen, blah blah blah. So on one hand, to wrap up what I'm saying, could I have done like a lot better for a presentation? Yes, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't really know how to like present myself on a virtual date.
Yeah. Virtual dates can be hard. And this is why I do the coaching because I teach people how to do virtual dates all the time. It is really about making sure
the people in the back are like, coach, friend, coach. Got it. But you got to pay for that shit. So give us the complimentary version.
So listen, being nervous is fine because that means you're putting your heart into it. If someone goes into a virtual date and they're not nervous, they're a narcissist. Okay? So if you're nervous, that's fine. It's really about the goal is how do I show up as my best version of myself? And then how do I make that man smile? If you don't go into the date, both of you, you don't go into the date trying to aim to make the guy smile or feel nice and warm and fuzzy, you might as well just have a business date.
But I think also, Lamont, that is indicative of our culture. I think a lot of us are expecting to go into a date and want to be understood. We want them to get us, them to hear us, them to know what works for us, what makes us tick, all the things. But I don't think in our culture, a lot of us take it to the next level, trying to do the same thing for them.
Yes. Have your checklist of trying to figure out like if this is a good fit, like maybe have 3 questions that you're trying to look for compatibility. The rest is creating the environment.
So that's the thing. We had questions as was prepared by a producer, Verity. And like I would ask like what the questions were, and like for me, I try to like insert like a little bit of my humor, be like so on and so forth. Try to make you laugh at least a little bit. But like I don't know. I mean, and maybe it's part of your personality. I don't know, right? I don't know you from a can of paint,
Right.
but like. I don't know. It just felt like all my attempts were just kind of like, okay, whatever.
But I think this is a perfect example of everything ain't for everybody now.
And I agree.
You can follow all of Lamont's. Now, if you follow all Lamont's rules, you're going to get something out today now. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that from first-hand experience. You follow all them damn steps, you getting something.
You going to get it.
What Denzel Washington say? I say I'm leaving with something. But also, I will say everything isn't for everybody. Not every person will be attracted to every person. And I think this is a perfect example of what it looks like to where the vibe just wasn't vibing, right, Josh?
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The vibe just wasn't vibing. Now, granted enough, again, let me reiterate. You do all of my steps.
I do think
You
if
leave
you
with
all
something.
went into it differently, you would have a different experience. And I think some people think, take me as I am. Like, I'm just going to wear this. I'm just be this. That's not going to get you what you want. It is okay to change and elevate yourself so that you can find compatibility. You got to
Yes.
do things differently.
I think that is a perfect place to play a game. Lighten the atmosphere a little bit.
Tension.
Okay.
I don't know something, I'm
Okay,
good.
let's play our tried and true game, Sassy or Trashy, the blind date edition. Hit it. Trey got her headset on, so she's finally vibing out with us. Okay, this is how Sassy or Trashy works. I'll describe a situation, and each of our in-studio guests have a paddle that says Sassy on one side, which means good, and Trashy means get somebody else to do it. I'll describe a couple situations, and then you all will chime in. Joshua, unfortunately, I think you're here in the city, but I can't get a paddle to you, but you'll let us know if there's
You
Sassy
good.
or Trashy. Okay? For everybody in the comments, tap in and play along. Let us know in the comments if you think these situations are Sassy or Trashy and why. Y'all ready to play?
Let's go.
All right, let's play. All right, the first is sex on the first date, Sassy or Trashy?
Sassy.
Sassy. Do you... I want to double tap there so good. Like, does sex on the first date keep you from a second date?
No,
No?
absolutely not.
I had sex with my husband on the first date.
Like, did that give you any did that make you think any kind of way about a second date? Or you was like, hell yeah, I gotta keep him.
I definitely wanted a second date.
Okay, what about you, Josh? If you have sex on the first date, does that make you think about the person any differently?
No, it doesn't make me think about them any differently. It probably making me like you more, especially if it's good.
Now, Josh, I will tell you, this deep voice of yours is doing something in these ears of mine. You're not flirting with me, are you?
No, I'm not
Can you
flirting
stop
with you.
trying to take the people's man on live air?
He ain't your man.
You're right. But that don't mean you gotta try and steal him live on air. Jesus.
Cute is cute. Everything ain't for everybody, but maybe he like thick niggas. I'm just kidding.
I noticed
I'm
how
just
you ain't
kidding.
asked me my type
That
either.
was-
Because I like thick niggas too.
Are you flirting with me?
Maybe.
See how they do? Okay, what's the next one? They text you what you doing at midnight following your date. Sassy or Trashy?
Don't wake me up. I will not answer you.
Trashy. What do you say, Josh? They text you what
Sassy.
you doing at midnight following your date.
Sassy.
See, I say sassy too. Why do you say sassy?
I mean, especially if the day went well, probably am waiting on that text to come anyway. So,
But does it matter that it's a WID? Because we all know what WID means.
no.
In the midnight
Just get
hour,
straight to it.
WID, we know what WID means.
Yeah, just get straight to it. Save the time.
Okay, why do you say sassy, Lamont?
Because if you went on that first date
Or trashy? You said trashy.
I said trashy.
Got it.
Because
You wanna...
I feel like it's passive. Like if you want to have sex with the person and you went on that first date,
Then tell
why
me.
not communicate that verbally in person? And now it's midnight. You go give me a what you doing? You know what I'm doing. I'm in the bed. Leave me alone. If you wanted some earlier, you should have communicated that.
Okay, there's too much of your amen corner in here
Like
for me to
you
combat that.
just,
Okay.
you just have turned that person into a booty call because that's what he's telling you. Oh, we had a good
Not a
date.
booty call.
I don't want to date you. I just want to smash. That's it.
But how is sex on the first date not turning you into a booty call, but a what you doing text message is?
Because it's the intention. Because if you should have verbalized that to the person in person, hey, yeah, I'm feeling you. Let's have sex. Instead, y'all done had dinner, hung out. Hours later, midnight, because you horny. What you doing?
Okay.
Call your
Wait,
call
wait.
your other person.
But let me double tap right here because
I'm here for it.
This is
Yes.
the one time I got to push back. So you saying go out to eat? We at the restaurant. I sit in your face and be like, I want to fuck you right now. Let's go to the bathroom. sassy. But 4 hours later, I want to fuck you at night, trashy.
It's giving passive.
I agree.
It's giving little energy.
What's wrong with that?
I'm triggered. I'm triggered. Okay, what's the next?
I said what I said.
He said what the fuck he said. Okay.
Okay, this one says they brought a friend along to the date without telling you. Sassy or trashy?
Trashy.
I think everybody.
Trashy.
Okay, we all agree with that one. That's pretty trash. That is the most fuckboy shit I've ever heard of in my life. But let's keep going. What's the next one? Their first words to you are, "You look different from your pics." Josh, I'm gonna start with you. Sassy or trashy?
It's definitely sassy. I don't think it's trashy.
It's sassy. Okay. What do you say, John? Lamont? I say sassy too.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. Okay, okay, I'm the oddball out apparently. So like,
Honesty is key.
Yeah.
Honesty is key. That's what he says.
True. But also like the very first words, not hi, not hello, not you look nice. It's that I'll be like, okay, I'm going home.
What if it's, damn, you fine.
Yes.
You look different than your pics.
You know what? Yeah. Then I'll take that. But not
You
like the
just
very first
assume that-
words.
You just
but
assume
not-
that it's negative.
but
What if he
not
means
the-
like you look way better than your
But
pictures?
not the very first words that come out your mouth.
I have said the very first words with the person that I'm dating now. You look way different than your pictures. And then I made a joke that either means you took some fucked up pictures. Cause you fine as hell in person.
Okay, but like that's not the question.
First word, you look different in your pics. I have said that many times. First words.
I think it's fine. You're reading the room.
Yeah.
Positively or negatively.
Okay.
You're reading the room. We're acknowledging those pictures need to be updated.
Or
my
in my
picture
case,
was
I've
updated.
been in a situation where they were catfish, and I was like, "But nigga, you're cute. You could have just been you." But
You
that's
stayed?
totally different topic.
Did you
Let's go.
stay?
Next.
I did not stay. I'm very proud of that. Go to the next one. It says they ordered for you without asking. Sassy or trashy? What you say, Josh?
Trashy.
They ordered for you without
Trashy.
asking. Trashy?
Trashy.
I really want to ask
I'm
a very
really the
personal
oddball
question.
out this season.
Like,
Okay.
like they
All
ordered
right.
for you without asking. Why do you say sassy? I said sassy
So
too.
I like, cause okay, in my head I'm thinking like this is like after we've talked for like a little bit, and then
Okay.
we go into like we're ordering food. So you already I'm assuming that you already know what I like. So like if you get it for me, I'm be like, that was really nice.
Okay.
That was really nice of you. I appreciate
That'll
that.
make your pussy jump a little bit, won't it?
Just a little bit.
See? Why do you say trashy, Lamont?
Well, I'm like in between.
Okay.
Because you could be like, hey, I come to this restaurant all the time. There's this awesome drink I want you to try. So I'm going to order this drink for you to
That's
try.
exactly why I say sassy.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. I've taken
that
someone
too.
to a restaurant that I know the menu very well,
Mm-hmm.
and I do that because I want to tap in and be clued into them.
Mm-hmm,
And I'll be like, "Hey, do you drink such and such? Let's try X, Y, Z."
And also I feel like that means like you're also paying attention to.
And you're trying to impress and woo the person. You see? You do
Yes.
that on 8 little things? You see?
Yes.
You see?
Knock their socks off,
There.
Joshua.
Got it.
He just cheesed it up there. I like Joshua. Okay. What's the next one? They pay for dinner with a coupon. Sassy or
Trashy.
trashy?
Listen.
Trashy.
I
Trashy.
said trashy too. Why do you say trashy, Joshua?
I think it's, especially if we're on a first date, it's a bad impression for you to pull out a coupon to pay. I mean, I would. I just don't think it's good optics. It doesn't look good.
I would say, this is what I said when we were preparing for this. I said, I couldn't tell you the last time I carried around a coupon. So if it was like in my phone, like I went through and I just was like, hey, scan this and it's no big deal.
Right. Y'all
Or a
niggas
Groupon.
are worried about the wrong damn thing. I don't care if you pay for the meal with an
Listen,
EBT
baby.
card. Okay.
It's rough
Did
out
you
here.
paid for
Okay,
it. You paid for
okay.
it.
As long as you paying for
You
it and
paid
they gotta
for
ask
it.
me, okay? It's hard out here.
Like, hello, what if he had a Groupon like for the act throwing, buy one get one free? You his +1, so it's free. Yeah, I'm whipping that coupon out. Here you go.
See, when you say it that
Okay.
way, I've done that.
That means that man can manage your finances at the house.
Hello.
like a fucking accountant. Y'all be worried around wrong things. Give me a man who bringing a coupon on that date, okay? Because he's getting us a discount on the house, on the mortgage, and everything else.
Listen,
Okay.
baby.
Lamont got us focused
put
on
it
the
like
long
that, it
game
makes
here,
more
friend.
Right.
We got to focus on the long game. Okay, what's the next one? This one says they text you, let's do it again, but you see them on IG with someone else the next night. Sassy or trashy? John says trashy. What do you say? Sassy. Joshua, what do you say? They text you, let's do it again, but you see them on IG with someone else next night.
Sassy.
I say sassy too.
Y'all ain't married? You ain't put a ring on it?
Right.
Why do you say trashy,
Just
John?
having
I
fun.
mean, I just feel like after a certain amount of time, like if it's giving that kind of energy, then just don't talk to me. Like and maybe that's really
what is the kind of
either
energy you're
or.
talking about? What kind of energy? This is giving that kind of energy. What energy are you talking about?
if you're telling me like, oh, let's do it again, like, I want to spend more time with you, but then I see you with somebody else, then I'm like, okay, then what are we doing?
Dating.
Say it again,
I-
friends. Say it
We're
again.
dating. We ain't in no relationship. Not after no first date.
Step your game up then. Take them off the market. With
I will accept
TSA,
that.
step your pussy up.
Get a job, bitch. Suck a dick. That's what she said.
Yes.
Okay, what's the next one? Is that it? Okay, they left the date early because they forgot they had something else to do.
Trashy.
Wonderful gowns, beautiful gowns.
Everything was so nice.
Everything was
Nice
so
gown.
nice. I'll interject here. If you can't just say, "Oh, this ain't the vibe," then absolutely trash. I don't mind somebody diming out on a date early, unless they said it's on me. If they said it's on me and they leave early and I got to pay for it, that's totally different. But if you can't open up your mouth and just be like, "Hey, the vibe ain't vibing. This ain't my vibe," or whatever, then you fucked up.
Yeah, tell me. Tell me.
Joshua, what you say?
I agree.
Yeah, we at least can be adults about this. Is there another one? What's going on? Last one. They ghosted you, then popped back up in your DMs 2 weeks later like nothing happened. Sassy or trashy?
So like, okay.
What you say, Joshua?
Trashy.
You say trashy?
Trashy. Yeah.
Okay, why do you say trashy? I think we're all on the same page, but why you say it?
I think it's weird that ghost me, stop talking to me, stop communicating with me, and then just pop back up 2 weeks later like everything's cool. Like that's
You
not
got some
going down like
splaining
that.
to do. That's what Ricky Ricardo said. You got some splaining to do. Although I'm not tremendously interested in the explanation. What you say, Lamont?
I think
I'll give you the last word.
in relationships, you are always going to have uncomfortable conversations.
Mhm.
In the dating phase, you should practice having uncomfortable conversations. So you should come back and say, hey, I went ghost because I had a death in the family. I went ghost because you said something inappropriate and it turned me off. But you got to communicate why you disappeared.
Okay, I'm gonna double tap on that after the break. But that was Sassy or Trashy. Thank you so much, Joshua. Joshua and John, put Joshua up there next to John. I think we're pretty clear on this one. Second date or not, John?
I'm okay.
What, Josh?
I'm good now.
Well, all this show has proven is that we are going to leave the matchmaking to Lamont. Yay! We're going to leave the matchmaking to Lamont. Okay, after the break, we will discuss how to navigate good and bad dating experiences. But during the break, let me know in the comments, have you ever walked out of a bad date? Why did you do it? This is Blind Dating Explained. And we will be right back. The show got good. I thought I was spicy vanilla, but tonight I've learned I'm deep into the extremist end of the kink freak spectrum. Then it got even better. Nutted, they asked me if he could pee in me, and I was nervous. What did it feel like? But it felt good. Live from the back room every Thursday on YouTube. All right, we are live. I still hear him in my ears. We are live from the back room. I am Jay the Gentleman. This season. We've been reading in the BBC, the Banned Book Club. Our goal is to share queer stories from Black authors and to share our experiences through literature. This season's book club pick it's right here on the shelf. It is 100 Boyfriends by Brontes Purnell. We've been reading the book for a couple weeks now. So to start the conversation, I'm going to be going live every Tuesday starting next week on Instagram. You'll be able to join me. We'll talk about what's in the book and just chop it up if you haven't started reading yet. Then on April 1st, Yes. Then on April 1st, we'll be welcoming the author Brontes Purnell for a kiki right here in the back room. If you want more information or to pick up your copy of the book or join the BBC, visit dearblackgaymen.com/BBC for more information. Before the break, I asked, have you ever walked out on a bad date and why did you do it? The girls are saying something in the comments, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so me and Lamont, the gay dating coach, got to meet two couples who went on 2 blind dates. Now I want to hear from the expert, Lamont. Let me just ask one selfish question. Like, I think we talk a lot about dating here on the show. We talk, and you talk a lot about the dating process. When does dating start? Before the break, you said like you have to be able to practice those tough conversations in the dating. But I would argue that when are you committed enough to like have a tough conversation and it not feel out of nowhere?
I think dating is like any type of skill that you learn. So during the dating phase, if someone says something that offends you, like they say an offhand remark, that is an opportunity to have an uncomfortable conversation where you say, hey, what did you mean by that comment? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? You're invested so much in that person that you're willing to take a risk to have an uncomfortable conversation. If you feel like you can't take a risk to be vulnerable, to have an uncomfortable conversation with the person, then you might as well not even date them. You shouldn't even be in their space or their company.
But I think that, at least for me, in my experience, oftentimes the barrier between the uncomfortable conversation and where we are is the investment. We always like men in my experience are very much we're not a thing, so no, let me just dime out and go find somebody else.
Do you see value in him though? If you see value in him, then you're invested. My thing is, why are you dating people that you don't see value in?
Again,
not you, but because people who
my
are
job
watching.
is to just sit as a proxy for everybody else.
I ask questions to help people to think. Like, if you don't see value in the person, then don't even go on a first date with the person.
Like, value should be established before a first date?
Yes. Like, do you have a conversation with the person? Like,
yes.
You should have a conversation with the person because you see value. He's handsome. He has a nice job. He made you feel good during that first interaction. You find value.
Are you saying the first interaction, like before the first date?
Before the first date, yeah, because you have to. Before the first date, you all met somehow.
Yeah, presuming it could be online or wherever. Yes.
Online, you liked his content. You like how he slid in your DM. He had a joke. You see value there.
And I just think a lot of us, me to a certain degree, a lot of us have a issue figuring out at what point is it okay to invest in this man, even though he may not be equally invested in me. I think that's the catch, is a lot of people are at even though he's not equally invested in me. For some reason, a lot of us want to always be in lockstep, as if liking him more than he likes me is a problem. Do you see that? Or am I off base?
I think you should be 100% invested in the person, and it doesn't make you thirsty or like you're desperate. When I say invested, like you call him, you schedule dates, you make him feel good from the beginning. Even if you're still like, I don't know if he's a good fit for me, because you're opening him up. Your goal is to open him up so you can see who he is, to see if he's compatible. But if you're guarded and you half-ass date, the person is going to feel that. They're going to be like, oh, this is nonchalant. Like the previous guy, all of his responses were kind of like you don't give a damn. No, a man wants to see that you give a damn, that you're intentional.
I think, now while I agree with everything you're saying, like if I can set as a proxy for a lot of us, I do think that is also the problem with the dating pool is that a lot of us have these very nonchalant relationships with our friends, the nonchalant relationships with our family, nonchalant relationships with ourselves, to where nonchalance is just the standard. And so finding that one person that like cares from a first date is difficult.
And you'll see a couple and you're like, oh, he's unattractive. How did he bag that guy? Because he showed up. He cares. He invests in the person. A 6 goes to a 10 immediately. I'm like, immediately.
The room is like, preach, preach, Lamont.
But you all worry about the external and you're like, oh, my look should get me what I want. No, that fades over time, okay? All that changes. It's about how are you showing up in the relationship? How are you showing up for that person?
But the irony of all of that is I fully agree. Looks do fade. But a lot of people either black don't crack or they think it will never crack.
Black swells, though. Black droops. I'm just saying.
Because, baby, lymphedema done running all our families, honey. The girls got the sugar, diabetes, and the high blood pressure.
Right. So things change. Things change over time.
Okay. And so I got to get back to the script. So me and the gay dating coach got to meet 2 couples who went on blind dates. Now I want to hear from you, Lamont. What are 4 tips that you would give the girls when navigating dating? Number 1.
I've been preaching it all night. One is show up with intention.
Yes.
So like that's in how you look, how you the location that you plan for the date, even the types of conversations that you want to have on the first date. You're like, I have to plan what I want to talk about on the first date?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Because I tell people all the time I'm a first date guru, because one thing I will say is I tend to go to restaurants that I know very well, because I don't want to get caught up in the menu and that take away time and interest from the person.
Yeah.
So I go somewhere where I know what I'm going to order so that I can give all of my attention to whomever I'm with. That's
creature of habit.
My thing.
Yeah.
Not just habit. It's not like I go to the exact same restaurant, but I definitely go to restaurants that I ain't getting no 10-piece hat, lemon pepper sprinkles, but I know what I want. And more importantly, I know what's on the menu so I can ask their tastes before we get there.
Right.
Okay, what's number 2?
Date for compatibility. You should have a list of the type of guy you want to be in a relationship with. Like you should say, I need to date a guy who's older than me, right? So if you date a lot, you know what you want in a guy. So you should have a list of things that you want in a guy. So when you're on the date with him, you're looking to see if he checks those boxes. Right?
How many things is a good number? Because I know a whole bunch of girls.
A handful of things.
A handful of things that you're absolutely looking for.
Right,
You're non-negotiables.
like if spirituality is really important for you.
Like John said, he was a church boy.
If you're a church boy, that means on that first date, you're looking to see if the man even prayed over his food.
Damn, that's good. I ain't think of it that way now.
Right? You're listening for him to talk about, oh yeah, I go to church, or I volunteer at church doing this, but you're listening for things. You don't have to ask a question. You just listen for those types of things. So if you're dating for compatibility, you have a list. And before you go on a date, look at that damn list. Real.
But now, to play the devil's advocate, I can hear the girls that saying, I need a 6-figure nigga, and that's why they ask about job and finances and all those things on the first date.
Again, having 6 figures does not mean you're financially stable. You could be house poor.
Broke niggas think 6 figures is financially stable.
No.
And usually the broke niggas is the one who want a 6-figure nigga.
Listen, it's about, so I get financial stability is important, but it's about like how much extra cash you have after you pay all your bills.
Yes, I agree.
Can you put money into
Can
your
you go on a
savings
cruise
account?
every once in a while?
Right. And for some people, they're like, hey, I make, X, Y, Z of money. So finances, really, I don't care how much money the guy makes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
They're looking for something else.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we got date with intention. We got date for compatibility. What's number 3?
Consistency.
Okay, now we're gonna double tap there. What do you mean by that, Lamont?
So listen, how you show up is how you should stay in that relationship. if you are calling him every day, if you are texting him every day, if you're giving him compliments, if whatever you're doing to get the man, you have to do that to keep the man.
Okay, so let me tell you a story.
I'm listening.
So I'm dating someone right now. Everyone in the room knows that I'm dating someone. We are very, very fresh, weeks long, 6, 7 weeks. I'll tell you that. But normally I'm a morning person, so I'll be getting up very, very early, and I'll make sure that I am awake when he's awake, when he gets up, because he is not a morning person. Today, I happen to sleep till 11 o'clock. First message, where the hell you at? And it gave me everything I needed. Like that first time that man gets a little, start asking where you at. I was like, oh, he invested. Let me go ahead and see him this good morning text, baby.
Right, because you have a routine. You're consistent, so he expects that from you. And if you don't give that to him, he then wonders what has changed in the relationship.
Now, the irony is nothing changed in the relationship. I just happened to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, stayed up for 3 hours doing nothing, and then went back to sleep.
Right.
But I do acknowledge that the way I got him is the way is what he's looking for, because there is a level of certainty that comes with consistency that men want to hang their hat on.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you can't do new things or change. It means, but you still have to be consistent in how you show up.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we got intention, we got compatibility, we got consistency, and number 4.
My 2 C's: communication and conflict. Okay.
Tell me about that.
So I will tell you, in every single
The girls
relationship,
ain't gonna like them too.
Every relationship, there will always be some type of conflict. Your husband, your partner, your boyfriend will disappoint you at some time in a relationship.
Been there, yes.
No matter what.
Not with him, the person I'm dating, but I've been there, yes.
I've disappointed my husband. He's disappointed me at different times. It is about how you handle conflict.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't handle conflict in a relationship in a healthy manner. What they do is they avoid it, they ignore it, or they go to the very extreme where they like to fight and cuss and scream at each other instead of actually getting to the root of what the issue is to try to resolve those issues.
Yeah, I had a conversation earlier today with 2 people that are very close to me, and I was talking to them about how to artfully resolve conflict. Now, granted enough, sometimes the argument got to happen. I absolutely believe that. Everything ain't gonna be demure and mindful all the time. Sometimes big stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to navigate that with someone who cares, especially if it's something you care about. My question for you, Lamont, if we can just broaden this conversation, is what I hear from people that are married and people that are out of the dating pool is you put a lot more emphasis on the relationship earlier than a lot of us single girls would expect. And my question for you as a matchmaker, as a person who is helping people navigate this, is how do we as a culture figure out that we can commit to something? We can lean in sooner. Because I know people have sat where you were sitting and be like, we're going to talk for a year. And we ain't gonna be together, ain't no titles. But every marriage that I've said is we were together in like a week and a half. We might not have said it, but we was together in like 10 days.
So typically, you know if you want to be in a relationship with this person. There's something in your gut that says, I want to stick around.
Yeah.
And you should listen to that. You should listen to that voice that says, hey, he is worth the effort. He is worth the time. So I am going to push and make this happen in a relationship. I think people are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of being vulnerable. They're afraid of that partner actually seeing the true person who they are.
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, they'll stick around for a couple weeks or a month and then they end the relationship because they don't want to have that level of transparency in a relationship. Because best believe, if you in a relationship living with somebody, they go see you through everything and they go show you who you are. And a healthy relationship, they will see who you are and push you to be a better person. If you are in a relationship and you are you fucking struggling and your mental health is not well, you are in the wrong relationship. Because how can you be with a man who allows you to stay in a situation where you're not healthy and where you're not growing?
Okay. You can't drop these mics, but that was a good place to take a break. Thank you, Lamont. That was good. All right, let's take our last break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. It's pre-recorded. Just go straight to. We ain't never had a conversation this good.
Start fighting and it's over. Nothing like why?
Nothing was off limits. What do you look for? Top thing, first thing. You scrolling on the apps and you like, how has HIV impacted your dating life? Then it got a little petty.
Work the same way that the negative hole works. I said,
Celebrating National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. It's HIV Talk on Dear Black Gaming Podcast. I would like to thank my guests, Lamont, Joshua, Malik, and our special shout out to Aaron and John on the production team. Good job, teammates. Y'all can't hear, but surprise, surprise is playing. All right, if you want to slide in their DMs and score yourself a date with any of these beautiful bachelors, links to their socials are in the description. Lamont is not a bachelor, let me add that. Lamont is happily married, but he knows a whole bunch of good bachelors. If you slide into his DMs for a consultation, okay. If you're ready to take your dating journey to the next level, you can connect with Lamont White at the Gay Dating Coach. He is amazing. I will also add that Lamont did a relationship counseling. He does relationship counseling as well. So if you are in a relationship, he has services that are amazing. We've seen firsthand, the hardest part about dating is starting again. You asked for the number, you said flirty comments in the text message, you've been out on the dinners and drinks and Netflix dates and no chilling. You waited to have sex and did the soul searching and communicated, but nothing. I'm not the dating guru. That is Lamont. And I can't help you navigate the dating pool any better because I'm in it my damn self. But what I know for sure is that no experience in life is wasted. Every bad date, like the ones on my guests my guests had tonight, they get you one step closer to a better date. Every not quite right guy gets you clearer on what might be a little bit better fit. If you're anything like me, you can't just turn a bad date into a podcast and everything changes. Either way, dear Black gay men, bad dates can be good if you let them. That was our show. I am Jay the Gentleman. Remember, we are reading 100 Boyfriends by Brontes Purnell in this season of the Banned Book Club. Make sure you follow us at Dear Black Gay Men on IG and join the BBC broadcast channel to get your copy. We do content every day. If you go, and we go live on YouTube every Thursday at 8 p.m. Next week, we'll be talking about what? I can't hear you. Defining relationships right here on Dear Black Men. I'll see you next time. Bye.